Hello, boys. How's it going? Um, I just want to talk about a couple of things that are on my mind today. I want to tell you the reason why I run. I run not every day, um, although I'm coming back from a bit of a layoff with an injury and such. But I run. It's something I've learned to do quite recently, the last couple of years. I grew up as a sprinter. You know, I was a super, super talented junior sprinter, you know, um, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. I was absolutely superb. I could have gone on to do significant things, although it didn't turn out that way for a number of different reasons, right? But as a sprinter with the body of a sprinter, um, I hated long distance running. I hated running distance. My body with my muscles and my big, powerful oak tree legs, they suck up a lot of oxygen, and that's kind of anathema. It's the opposite to what you see when you see middle distance runners, and Eliud Kipchoge. He's slender. He's like a young sapling, isn't he? And their feet barely touch the ground when they run. So I was the opposite of that. I was like, like baby Mike Tyson. Like, you don't see people like him, doing the mile in 4 minutes. But anyway, I learned to run. And the reason I learned to run long distance, I mean, it's not long distance, but 5 miles plus whatever, and learned to love it. It's because of what it did for my mind. It's what it did for my mind. You know, um, I I found it calming. I'm prone to depression for a lot of different reasons. I'm prone to depression, but I find that running had this effect on me. You know, um, you run, and the repetition, like a metronome, boom, 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 boom. Eventually, my body becomes the clock. It becomes the metronome. It becomes this rhythm instrument, and I'm running, boom, 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 boom. And while I'm running, however angry I was before, however pissed off I was before, however bitter I was before, my running and my emotional moods, they cannot coexist at the same time. They can't, right? So I found that running acts as a kind of washing machine for my mind. And that's so incredibly important to me. I learned to love it, but in a lot of ways, I really dislike running, right? Um, it's so hard to do it. I find it so difficult to do it. But like the analogies say, it's the first steps which are the hardest. The first steps are very, very difficult for me, and I don't want to do them. But once I'm going, yeah, I'm loath to stop. Just go a little bit more. Just go a little bit more. Just go a little bit more. And by the time you get to the halfway point, it's like you're gonna stop now halfway. You didn't stop yesterday. This is gonna be the first time you stop today. Really? Yeah. Are you gonna allow that to happen? If if I didn't stop yesterday, I'm not gonna allow myself to stop today. You know. So that's what goes on in my mind. And so you go and you put one foot in front of the other. You know, another and another and another, and you keep going. You keep going. I got a very difficult phone call today from a friend of mine, and she's in a difficult situation, and long time friend of mine, known her since I was a teenager, and she was distraught. It was a hard phone call to hear. But I told her how I saw her, right? Which is this gifted person. She's gifted, she's determined, she's organized, she's good with money. And I had a view on her life that she didn't have on her own life in that moment. And sometimes it takes, you know, a set of fresh eyes to see actually what's going on for you and who you are and what you can do. The act of running helps give me that kind of self-reflective capacity. It allows me to clean my mind, yeah, and see myself clearly, more objectively, um, than I can when I'm feeling so emotional and upset. And I've got good reason to be upset. Don't we all? Life is not easy. It's not easy. I could tell you stories. I could tell you stories about how I grew up, how difficult it was, and it was, and the terrible upbringing that we had. And God bless my mum because she kept us alive. My dad was an awful character, an awful man, a violent man, and an unwell man, mentally ill man. But I'm here today, and today I'm going to put one foot in front of the other, just like I did yesterday, and I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep running, even though I don't want to. I don't want to keep going, but I'm going to keep going anyway. I'm gonna put one foot in front of the other, and I'm gonna keep going. And even though my lungs are, burning, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna put one foot in front of the other until I see the destination coming up ahead of me. And I'm gonna keep going today because I did yesterday. And I'm gonna reach the finish line. And when you feel down, I'm gonna encourage you to keep running. I'm gonna encourage you to keep going. Put one foot in front of the other, and just keep going.